where do we go for counseling? Where do we go for mentoring when it comes to making our resolutions?
But that's a good question. You know, I conducted an executive retreat not too long ago, and one of the questions that I asked these CEOs and MDs and chairmen of big companies was that, how regularly do you meet with your coach or mentor? And 99% of them had blank spaces on that answer, on that question. And they said, Mr. Jonathan, this is Ghana. Where would you find a coach?
Yes, that's the next question I was coming up with.
And that's very important, because even in my business coaching seminars, they keep on saying, and this is one of the things that kind of plummeted me into, or catapulted me, I should say,
okay,
into playing this role. They say, Mr. Jonathan, this is rare. Finding a coach or a mentor is really tough in this part of the world. And I'll share this one statistic with you. It's real. I have the hard paper with me. I did an executive training for one of the largest banks in Ghana. And the average length of time that these people in the room have been with the bank is 26 years. I asked them this question: will you mentor or coach a subordinate if that subordinate has the likelihood of taking over your position?
It's obvious.
98% of them 98% of them answered no, 2% abstained. And then when it came to discussion time, people were actually taking their glasses off. Mr. Jonathan, what do you mean?
I would take my food out of my mouth.
Out of my table. And so it is true. So that statistic there, which I conducted, this is not something from Google or anything, it shows that mentorship is really rare. And then those who are in higher positions or the corridors of power, because they are not growing once they get to that position, they are afraid that someone else may take their position. So in terms of where we can go, I'm glad to say that I'm sure Apostle is making himself available, because we cannot just talk about the problem and not the solution. And I'm also a coach as well. And I may not be your friend when we start off, but the results will make us friends. And I also thank God for the Holy Spirit.
Counselor.
The Holy Spirit, my goodness, is a great counselor. And I will not counsel anyone without his assistance, even if the person is an unbeliever. I won't quote scriptures, but usually they'll say, Mr. Jonathan, how come I'm enjoying what you're saying, but you're also moving me to tears. You're reaching down the depth of my soul. And I'll just tell them that I didn't come alone. And then they ask, well, who else is here? It's just the two of us. And then I introduce my bigger boss. Not only is he a Jewish carpenter, but he's also the greatest counselor.
Yeah, sure.
And so that's very important. So in terms of your question that you were asking, Apostle, earlier on, faith has a lot to do, because remember, we are products. And if we disconnect ourselves from the manufacturer, we become waste products.